All right, so I'm gonna try and address the topics that people have given me in the chat, which is super useful. Wasn't exactly the flow that I wanted to do that I had in mind, but it's okay. We're gonna go with it. I'm just gonna read more of this. Okay, cool. So, I think the first thing that I want to show you, because it sounds like a lot of people had this, is that SciSpace can actually do systematic literature reviews. I don't know if people knew this, but it's our new launch, the SciSpace Agent, and you can actually do a systematic literature review. And so this is an example. Please conduct a comprehensive literature search for my systematic literature review on. And so what I've said is just do the literature search. I just want all of the material. And I've given like the inclusion and exclusion criteria here. And the search, you don't have to have the search strategy, but you can, and it's pretty straightforward. And you can actually do a systematic literature review. I'll just show you here. You can see everything that it's done. This is the summary. I will just show you the final outputs. Yeah, so this is the summary. This is these are all the files, and you can do that. I'm actually gonna go back. So if people have questions on that at the end, we can answer those. I'm gonna actually just go back to, so what I did, and I'll show you the power of this research agent. So I've actually I had a blog post. So I was actually thinking about this idea of, can we actually track carbon emissions from using tokens, like AI from tokens. So I had this blog post, can you use tokens to track AI's carbon emissions? It was just a blog post to kind of just get my ideas down, right? Nothing fancy. But then I wanted to write a grant. I just wanted to see what grant opportunities are out there, right? So then I actually just said, here's a blog post. Can you find all relevant grant opportunities for this idea? So you don't even need a paper. You don't need a previous application. It did. And I will just show you exactly what it gave me. And it was really great. They gave me government grants. It gave me private foundation grants. Um, and so initially I'll show you, it gave me, initially it gave me a lot of, what was it? A lot of grants.gov. So it started with this, let's see. It started with the grants.gov, which is over here. So this is the first list it gave me. It gave me a bunch of NSF grants, you can see the full list of NSF grants that it gave me that were relevant to my publication. But I said, okay, given the state of funding and federal funding in the US, can I get something else? So then I said, can you find other websites like grantwatch.com to find private grant opportunities that are relevant to this topic? And so then when I did that, it actually did give me all of these private grants. And so you want to think of this as really your assistant, where you kind of have a conversation and you go back and forth. So it gave me the first pass. I said, that's great, but I want something more. Then it actually found these other grants, which some of them were actually previous donors of mine. So I do know that it's quite relevant. And so that's kind of an example of, let's say you have an idea, you don't know what you can apply for. This is a good start. SciSpace Agent is a good starting point. Now, let's say you have an idea. I actually, right before this, we have the National Science Foundation in the US. I think people might be familiar with it, but you can do it with any grant, right? And I literally prepped this before our meeting. This took me about half an hour. I said, I'm attaching an NSF grant application. I want you to write a winning NSF application using the information from this existing program found on the website. So what I did was, um, I uh, I looked at Sacred Heart University. This is a random example. I saw that they have a Council for Undergraduate Research program on their website. So then I said, use this website and incorporate the current undergrad research program into this application. So what you'll find, sorry, is the first pass was, you'll see here, I'll just show you. The first pass is here. And I thought it was pretty good. I said, okay, so this is for transformative undergraduate research experiences, NSF Research Experiences for undergraduates. I said, okay. Now, again, you want to think of this as an assistant. This is not by any means done, okay? This is maybe like 60% done. So then I asked a question, how did you pick the 3 themes? Because they got 3 themes. They said theme 1 is sustainable materials, theme 2 is data science for environmental solutions, theme 3 is biotech. And so what it said was it actually looked at NSF funding priorities and national needs. So it actually went outside, looked through their priorities, their needs, what they're funding, also what on this university's website it actually does, and how, and kind of what it looks like it would take to win. And then it said, okay, do you like these or do you want to have different ones? And I said, okay, these are fine. And then what I do want to say is there will always, the number one question I get is, are there hallucinations? The answer is yes. Assume that there's hallucinations, but this is how you go and fix it. I just said, how did you get these community colleges listed there? Because I saw they had some community colleges here. So then it said, I made it up. And I said, is there anything else made up? Please fix it. So then it actually went through and it fixed everything, anything that, they didn't have, anything that they've made up. And some of the things that they made up, I said, I like the research themes. You can revert back to the previous version for those sections. So I can just show you what that looks like here. So then it gave me a revised version, which was, let's see. No, this was this one. So then it gave me a revised version where it took out the stuff that was not true, kept in the stuff that I liked. And then finally, I asked, is it actually formatted? I think somebody put in there, they hate formatting. This is perfect for you because then the last prompt is this in the NSF format and page limit length? It said no. So now it has actually formatted it for me, which I think is one of the most valuable things that this tool does, is that it actually formats all the proposals. So this is within the page length, it's within the page limits. I think there's a 15-page limit for NSF. It is within that. It has budget descriptions. It has all of that, and it is done. And if you want, after this webinar, I can send the sample so people can see, what is a real sample grant that I've actually done right before this. So yeah, I'm actually, and you can do the same thing. Another version that I've done is I've actually said, I'm going to stop sharing now. I've actually said, here's one proposal. Here's another application that I want. Please reformat and reuse this proposal to write a winning application here. So this is the baseline.